Okay, so today we have Killing Joke and Adorations. So, of course, recently on November 26th, 2023, Geordie Walker, guitarist of Killing Joke, passed away from a stroke at the age of 64. And once that happened, a couple people suggested doing a reaction to Killing Joke. And someone specifically asked for this song because of Geordie's playing on it. I've always loved, through the reactions I've done through Killing Joke, which more than a few by now, I would think. Either way, I've always loved Geordie's intense playing style, and his sound was always unmissable on a track from Killing Joke. So anyway, I figured, well, let's do that, some kind of a tribute, I guess you would say. And again, I have to say, I don't make any money from these videos, whatever. I'm not doing this, I guess, to be disrespectful, whatever. I just want to get that out there as well. I just want to remember the guy and do a Killing Joke reaction here because some people asked for it. So let's get into it and talk about the song after, and let's go watch the video too.
Just a battle stars, sugar towards the taster, pray to the predator, life as we're falling down. Lanterns of burning towns, welcome to pray and feast, bliss in all sorrows found, rhythm and random moves, and waves of revelations. Sons of God, let every act be sacred. Patterns unfinding, as pain and joy and sorrow mingle. Patterns we find, our faces raised in adoration. Patterns unfinding, as pain and joy and sorrow mingle.
There it is, Killing Joke and Adorations. Like I said at the top, I'm glad somebody suggested this song, because I'm glad I went with it, because it really does showcase what Geordie was all about. Kevin Walker, if you want to say, but Geordie, as everyone knew him as. Because it shows off his intensity, his powerful guitar tone, and his kind of dark guitar tone, you might say, on this track, and as well as his ringing sound too. And just watching him play in this video, he seemed like it just came so effortless to him. You know, it was an effortless kind of playing style, but he produced such a loud, big sound. And yeah, I just love how he came off like that, and just watching him again, watching his hands move, and as plain and simple as it is, just watching him play. And again, I love how the song kind of started off ominously, with kind of ominous sounds, you would say, kind of haunting sounds. And then we look at Jazz Coleman too, who is one of the most striking figures I've ever seen, with his crazy kind of hair, and he has that long black garb on, whatever. And, well, the rest of the band is kind of wearing white shirts and stuff and being kind of unassuming, while Jazz is, front and center there, not looking unassuming himself. But anyway, I like that a lot. And then, like I said, with his ominous guitars, or ominous sounds, and then we go in, and then Geordie kind of does a slide thing, yeah. And then, just that big sound, and then here comes Paul Ferguson on the drums, and Paul Ferguson throughout this track too was just unmissable. This song I found was very bouncy, kind of a slice of heaven in a way, uplifting in a way too, but again, it's the song, I guess you would talk about overall, is trying to be uplifting, talking about both dark and light stuff. The bad and the good stuff that happens in the world. But we'll get to the lyrics in a second, because I want to talk about the band a little bit more. And Paul Ferguson, like I said, he really he really put on the bounciness on this track. And I really enjoyed that. I liked the camera work in the video too, showing off of Geordie's guitar, showing Jazz, the close-ups of Jazz's face, because you just have to. I mean, my God. And then, of course, again, Paul Ferguson on the drums, who was just, in his zone, it seemed like, he was just going. And then, the repetitive, bold sound that he had. And then Paul as well, Paul Raven, who was on bass guitar here, who also passed away now. So, two members of the band are gone. But Paul Raven kept kind of showing his face. And again, he was a good-looking lad, I have to say, back in the 80s here. A good-looking fella, I have to say, my goodness. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I really enjoyed the sound here. I love the powerfulness of it all, and the bounciness of it all too. I just have to say, can't say that enough. So let's get into these lyrics. Courage and cowards move, heroes to ecstasy. Welcomes of war and wounds, vigil and victory. And I think I've said it before, but I've always liked Killing Joke's lyricism, their wordplay, you might say, how every word goes into each other, ecstasy, victory. I don't know, it's simple to say, but I like their lyricism. Structures of atoms dance, sugar towards the taster, prey to the predator, love as we're falling down. Again, just with this first verse, and it'll get even more, relevant later on, but talking about the light and the dark that really come with the world, the good and the bad, and what we have to go through as people. And there is kind of a come-togetherness that I feel in this song. Anyway, through light and laughter flow, to dirge and death we go. So again, the light and laughter, and then we come down with dirge and death. Death again. I don't feel like a lot of people look forward to death, really, but, it's kind of dark. Mindless processions move, lanterns of burning towns. Welcome to fray and feast, bliss and all sorrows found. Again, finding bliss and sorrows, which will come into play a little bit later here. Again, rhythms and random moves of waves of revelations, and the patterns and finding as pain and joy and sorrow mingle. And it's just like, again, pain and joy and sorrow mingle. These three things that we go through, not really every day, I guess. Some days you're happy, some days you're not. Some days you have pain and sorrow, whatever. But these things we go through as a person in life, in this forever evolving world, this full of destruction, full of death, full of war, and kind of finding, in a way, what my interpretation is, trying to find the lightness to that as well. But again, talking about the lightness and the darkness of it all in this world that we are in a world that, we're in this together in a way, no matter your beliefs in a way. This is what we're going through as a species, really, I guess. And then, patterns we're finding, our faces raised in adorations. Again, trying to rise above hate in a way, faces raised in adorations. Trying to find, the power of love, as Huey Lewis on the News once said, you got to find that power of love in a way. Deserts are paradise, awake to genocides. Again, deserts are paradise, awake to genocide. It's just the light and the dark, good Lord. Delight in suffering, these roles that we have found, delight in suffering. They're doing it so much here. Nourished by food we eat, hungered by waste excrete, if I could say it. Again, talking about being, fed, and then talking about being hungered by the waste. I mean, you can imagine the food we waste every day. From apes or sons of God, let every act be sacred. Again, talking about, Revelations, talking about the act of God, every act be sacred. I really feel like this works well too, because in the video, they're in a cathedral. And, I think there might be probably some religious, undertones in this track too, of course. And then the last part here, patterns I'm finding as pain and joy and sorrow mingle. Again, such a poignant line in a poignant track. Patterns we're finding, our faces raised in adoration. So again, I feel like, and then that's repeated again, but I feel like in this song, in a world full of destruction, war, darkness, death, and even today, you obviously with wars going on, it's hard for people in war-torn countries or whatever to find lightness, and why should they? I mean, my God, it's just, I can't imagine. But life is difficult, obviously. I mean, that's an understatement. Life can be difficult, and just still, though, trying to raise your face in adoration, trying to find the love, trying to find the connectivity between people, humans, everything, even though that might not be what the world is all about, trying, find and love in every human. But yeah, just trying to come together in a way, I want to say, and getting through the pain and the joy and the sorrow, which always mingle in your life, and just kind of rising above and, raising your face in adorations in a way too. So yeah, I love the thought-provoking lyrics here. I love again, talking about Geordie here, loved his powerful guitar sound, a sound that will never go away, even though he's passed away, and again, I have to say, rest in peace to him. But anytime you put on a Killing Joke song, I mean, his sound is right there, goddamn. And that'll never die. And and a guy who influenced so many different people, from Nirvana. Kurt Cobain took his riff from 80s for the song Come As You Are. I know Metallica were big fans of him. I know Jimmy Page was as well. So a guy, was one of the greatest guys from his generation, and a guitar sound that was just, again, I can't say it enough, was just so powerful and so loud, and it just won't be forgotten. So anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for suggesting this too. I just wanted to give my 2 cents, again, give my sympathies, if anyone sees this, I don't know, to his family, to his friends, because again, he was such a big part of the 80s, such a big part of Killing Joke. So yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I will talk to you fine folks again soon.